we're if we are back, we are welcome back to the Osamania Apprentice Level 7 tournament. We kind of had a few technical issues with the stream, but hopefully we still have you guys on. I'm again Sergio 85 commentating this match between Unitori against PotassiumF. And we're continuing this match off a 2-1 scoreline. Unitori winning their previous pick, Max Space Journey. And now it's time for PotassiumF for their own pick, a little story. LN2, the LN coordination pick of this pool. Hopefully this time around we won't have too many issues as we're already entering the second third of this chart as it appears. And it does look like Unitori is in the lead this time around. PotassiumF finding quite a few issues probably on the first third of the chart. Unitori, pretty impressive form being shown here now. Unlike when LN4 was picked, Joyful Snowfall was picked by PotassiumF. Like this is a very, very big difference in form than the previous one. And and I do think this is the full combo for Unitori. Like that. Is PotassiumF struggling to maintain their own combo? Well, never mind. No more full combos left in this room going into the final quarter of this chart, and Unitori will continue to stretch the lead as PotassiumF continues to do a few more drops. But they're finally gaining back some of that combo, gaining some combo again, which is a good sign for them. And Unitori finding a second consecutive drop, but there's a percent difference in accuracy between these two players, and I don't think there's enough time for PotassiumF to catch up. And this will be the first break point of this match. Once this chart finishes. And that is a very impressive score there coming from Unitori. Actually, pretty similar ratios between these two players. PotassiumF just finding some trouble really getting the combo. An update on the other match. If I'm not mistaken, they are tied. Exilfaker and Nene Sakura are tied 2-all going into the fifth chart of their own match as well. Be Unitori's turn to pick. And they are going to be going for over the Northern Mountains, the core jack pick of the spool. What are the longer picks again? Disappeared Unitori will be picking the rice in order this time around, and I presume that would mean that we'll be seeing Edelweiss on the next one, their next turn to pick, unless PotassiumF says otherwise. I do think they will. Here we go with the fifth chart in this match over the Northern Mountains. Going to be interesting to see how the accuracies between these two players are going to be. But again, as I've mentioned on the first part of this match, like before if he just got caught up or just joined us on stream right now, Unitori went into this match not exactly having the best condition on on one of their arms. PotassiumF, on the other hand, is using a suboptimal keyboard layout for their 7K since one of their keys broke. So both of these players went into this match with a few issues, which makes it a bit interesting. PotassiumF with a slight lead in accuracy, very, very slight, that practically tied these players. And Unitori finds the first drop. PotassiumF finds the first one as well. A pretty even accuracy to these two players. But PotassiumF getting so. Actually, never mind. Two consecutive misses there from PotassiumF. That means that Unitori will be grabbing the lead to their side with a pretty decent accuracy advantage as well. And but like this chart is pretty long. There's a lot of room for mistakes to happen. But PotassiumF does not need that one. Unitori slowly getting to that 99.8% accuracy. PotassiumF, on the other hand, with a 99.35, but Unitori finding yet another drop, which cuts that lead just by a tad bit. As PotassiumF is slowly going to that 400 combo cap, it should stabilize the score gap between these two players by a few points. Unitori, on the other hand, starting to build up a combo of their own as well. But they dropped yet again. But Potassium does trades favor the person in the lead, which is Unitori, who is carrying a 99.69 and should be gaining some more accuracy going into this break section. Never mind though, both players again finding trades and misses as the anchored jacks are starting to pick up. Yet another drop coming from PotassiumF, which gives Unitori more breathing room going into the final quarter of this chart now. Unitori just needs to continue just needs to continue getting this consistency showing. Trying not to commit any misses here in this particularly heavy section as well. Like, it's super easy to find drops here. Both players finding a trade, but PotassiumF getting out of that section in the worst condition between these two. Unitori he just needs to take this home now as we are about to end this chart. There we go. Unitori will be picking up their 4th point in this match. Oh wow, only 7 misses, no 200. All right. All right, Unitori. That's a pretty funny miscount there. PotassiumF also getting a pretty funny getting both of these players actually getting pretty funny miscounts despite their ratios and all. But obviously Unitori committing the lesser mistakes between these two, which means that Unitori has more of the advantage at the end. Only 2 more points left for Unitori to win before they close out this match. PotassiumF needing to score a few more points to catch up. To at least catch up. PotassiumF also going for the picking in order bar Joyful Snowfall here. So no more Olympics after this one. Crush Alcohol is picked by PotassiumF. This is the Ellen density pick of this pool and should be more comfortable if you're at least for rice mains as well. Meanwhile, Ellen mains should take advantage of the release timings here. They should be able to. But this is a fairly physical pick. And here we go with chart number 6 of this match. Crush Alcohol. PotassiumF carrying the better of the two accuracies here, but Unitori should be able to catch up at some point, even with the rougher start. And we see PotassiumF actually dropping some accuracy, which gives Unitori some taste of that lead, but we're still practically even with these two players. It's really going to matter. I think like the first few misses or first few 200 drops are going to be the one that will be making a difference. Both of these players still pretty even, as you see with the score gap. But PotassiumF drops to 99.4, which means that Unitori will be... Oh, never mind. Unitori finds a drop. PotassiumF maintaining the full combo despite the but that worse accuracy might... Actually, is still keeping this fairly close. Like, we're still below 1,000-point score gap between these two. PotassiumF needs to pick up the pace if they want to gain this point. Unitori is breathing at the neck. Behind the neck of PotassiumF though. And now the accuracy difference with these two players now gives the lead to Unitori. Never mind, that's a pretty big drop. Gives PotassiumF, who has a superior combo this time around. Ooh, no. PotassiumF dropping that pretty sizable combo, which gives Unitori the lead. But again, this is still super close to these two players. But PotassiumF needs to act the final third of his chart, which is a slow bracket section. Unitori should be able to maintain combo on this as well. But the question now is if Unitori will be dropping some accuracy here. They drop their combo, which gives PotassiumF some semblance of a lead here. PotassiumF needs to pick it up. Both players negotiating that fast stream. This is extremely close. PotassiumF finding a miss though. Finding 2 consecutive misses, which gives Unitori much more breathing room. Going into the final section of this tournament, I think that's it. Unitori will be grabbing their 5th point. It was really close until PotassiumF found a few more misses than they should have. And now it's going to be Unitori's turn to pick, which I presume is going to be Edelweiss, since they have been picking in order in order representation on the map pool. And there we go. Edelweiss is getting picked. One of the harder rice picks in this pool, in my opinion. Just being the technical pick in itself. And I do think that with RC6 being avoided right now, does mean that PotassiumF cannot take advantage of that accuracy just yet. While RC6, the Kirby song, Kirby chart can, like, it's the easiest pick overall in terms of patterning. Like, just consistency. If you have the accuracy, you should be able to if you have the accuracy, you should be able to get the upper hand. And I do think that having that chart being avoided right now is the best thing that could happen to Unitori, at least if they want to close this match out this early. But again, they have to negotiate this chart first before celebrating. The PotassiumF with some superior accuracy early on, but we'll have to see if they could maintain this once the chart picks up in difficulty. Does appear that they are as of the moment. But Unitori is starting to gain on PotassiumF. Actually, PotassiumF dropping accuracy just a tad bit, but both players still maintaining their full combos. Never mind. Never mind for both of these players, actually. But that was a bigger drop coming off PotassiumF, dropping them to below 99%, which is not a good sign for them. Unitori, on the other hand, getting that 99.3 as you're about to enter the hardest section of this chart. This full chord stream section, not really phasing both of these players. Actually, both players hitting that stair very well. But PotassiumF really struggling on the accuracy side now. There's almost a percentage difference between these two. And now we're about to enter the final quarter of this chart. PotassiumF really needs Unitori to have a massive meltdown in the end if they want to extend this match by at least one more chart. But that miss is not going to help their case at all. And I think regardless of how much time we have, or how much chart we have remaining, I think this is it for PotassiumF. Having a pretty good run, even for their standards, I would think. Getting this far into the tournament. But this will be the end of their run, as Unitori will be grabbing 6 points and will be advancing to the next round, which is going to be happening tomorrow. Assured of one more match this weekend. Congratulations. PotassiumF, on the other hand, thank you so much for playing in this tournament. You had a pretty good run. Like, getting this far in this tournament is no slouch for you at all. But for now, it's Unitori who will be taking the spoils and will be facing Playboy Cardi tomorrow at 8 a.m. UTC. The action in this R is not yet over though, because again, as I mentioned, there is another match that is happening right now. It's Exilfaker against Nene Sakura, which is currently tied for a piece. And I think we'll be showing that in a few, just getting caught up with the strategies here. And Exilfaker actually getting the first 100 roll of this tournament in the process. Nana Sakura banning Edelweiss RC4. Exilfaker banning LN4 a Joyful Snowfall. Exilfaker winning the first. Actually, wait. Let's pick up on this chart first. Exilfaker was the one who picked this chart. And it does appear that Nene Sakura has some combo problems right now, which is the reason why Exilfaker has a pretty sizable lead this early on in this chart, which is almost 4 minutes long. We'll get you guys caught up in the strategies with these two players once we're finished with this chart. But right now, this is Exilfaker's final pick of this match, and it has been pretty even between these two. Exilfaker carrying that consistency actually at 99.2%, already building up a pretty sizable combo this time around, which gives him this lead. Then Sakura on the other hand kind of struggling to gain the accuracy now that I noticed it. But they are slowly climbing. They're slowly climbing the ladder. But these heavier chords are giving Nene Sakura some problems. Exilfaker finding a drop before this transition to the Kirby theme. Both of these players not really having too many problems on the trills though, which is a good sign for both of these players. But Exilfaker kind of dropping some accuracy, but I don't think it matters right now. Unless for some reason Exilfaker finds a major breakdown here in this section. And then Sakura maintains that combo which they dropped as I mentioned it. Very impressive plays from both of these players. Both players trading misses though. But Exilfaker still maintaining that 99%, which is more than enough as it stands. As the chart starts to lower in density. Doing a pretty good job to gain match point and assure themselves of a tiebreaker. Meanwhile, as I mentioned, this is Exilfaker's pick, so Nene Sakura is the one picking the last pick of this match and will be bidding for a tiebreaker. There we go. Exilfaker picks up match point. Point number 5 of 6. Now let's get caught up with the strategies here as we're about to enter the final picking phase. But anyways, here we go. The bans are Nene Sakura banning Edelweiss, Rice 4, Exilfaker banning LN4. Then Exilfaker's first pick was RC1, which they won. Then Nene Sakura picking LN1, which Nene Sakura won. Then Exilfaker picking RC5, which they won. And now interesting here, Nene Sakura picking LN2, winning their own pick. Then Exilfaker picking RC3, with Nene Sakura getting the breakpoint. Then Nene Sakura picking Hybrid 2, which they win. Then Exilfaker went for RC2, which they won. Nene Sakura picking LN3, which Exilfaker got the point there. Then what we witnessed earlier, RC6, which Exilfaker picked and won. Now Nene Sakura is going for Qualia. This hybrid pick of the 3. It might be banking on more of the harder patterns here and the LN usages as well, which Nene Sakura has taken advantage of on the earlier picks. I think LN3 was like the only what do you call it? The only discrepancy, I think, mostly because that chart has been pretty nutty. Like, a lot of Rice players should be able to take advantage of it as well if they are careful with their release timings. Anyways, here we go, the main dense part of this chart. Nene Sakura with a pretty slight lead here. Actually, both of these players actually struggling to maintain their accuracies, but now that section, Exilfaker finds their first drop, which means Nene Sakura has the opportunity to pull ahead just a bit more. And Sakura finding a drop as well. Both of these players actually finding drops around the same time. But that accuracy difference has been making a lot of difference really for between these two players. And then Sakura just needs to take this home with the score gap on their side to guarantee us a tiebreaker. Both players below 98%. Actually, Exilfaker below 97%. But continuous drop through from Nene Sakura is starting to close the lead. Close the score gap here. Which might be a worrying sign, but both of these players just need to maintain it. Exilfaker and Nene Sakura finding a trade on that mini jack. Trades favor the player in the lead, and you know score gap has close to below 10,000 points. Nene Sakura needs to pick up the pace now, going into the final section chart. This is still super close. Nene Sakura is stretching the lead though, which is a good sign. Exilfaker finding a drop. But both of these players are still super close. There's still one more section in this chart where they could find multiple drops. Both of these players finding a trade. Nene Sakura finding a drop. Exilfaker trades. Both of these players actually trading misses. We're now about to enter the hardest section. Exilfaker finds a drop here, and we're guaranteed a tiebreaker. The first tiebreaker of the weekend. And we're going to be seeing Irone Osu's chart. There we go. Tiebreaker hype. This match has been pretty close, back and forth. But now it's time for the tiebreaker. We'll have to see whether, which of the two players are going to be, or the next player is going to be. I mean, whether this start is going to be favoring, which player this start is going to be favoring with, and we're already going into it. Not much of a break. Maybe wanting to maintain the warmth here. But yeah, this chart has quite a few distinct sections, and the LN usages here do rely more on your coordination and release ability. But the rise sections as well are pretty tricky overall. This is a pretty technical tiebreaker as well, so both of these players need to be pretty careful here. Both of these players carrying pretty similar accuracies for now. But we'll have to see who gets the upper hand once the more meatier parts of this chart starts to kick in. Exilfaker finding the first drop, but Nene Sakura's accuracy isn't exactly helping them right now. The score gap is still super close. But Exilfaker dropping some accuracy as well, which gives Nene Sakura some semblance of the lead. Some breathing room. But again, this is a long chart, 5 minutes and 40 seconds. Both of these players have to be super careful. Try not to commit any mistakes before the harder section of this chart starts to kick in. Nene Sakura and Exilfaker finds a trade. Trades favor the player who is in the lead. But again, similar accuracy to these two players. Nene Sakura just slightly above, but not yet enough to pull ahead. And there's yet another drop from Nene Sakura, which is going to help Exilfaker as we're about to enter the rise section of this chart. Nene Sakura finding yet another drop, which will close the score gap. Now we enter the right section of this chart where Exilfaker will be able to take more advantage here. And now has stretched some of the lead there, but finds a miss. Both of these players actually trading misses. Exilfaker finding better form on this chord stream, but both of these Both of these players finding trades. Trades favor the person in the lead. Nene Sakura finding 2 consecutive draws, which is just going to help Exilfaker gain more of that advantage. As we see more LNs kick in. These LNs interlaced with this chord stream, giving both of these players some trouble. Exilfaker finding consecutive drops on that mini delay section. But Nene Sakura will start to need building a combo here, and these consecutive drops are not helping their cause. Because Exilfaker is starting to pull ahead despite all of these misses. Stamina will be a factor here as the chart continues to increase in difficulty. Now in LN coordination section, Exilfaker finds consecutive drops in the Sakura as well. And the Sakura has already dropped below 97%, which makes this trickier for them to catch up. But Exilfaker finds that section very messy. Exilfaker finding consecutive drops again, and the Sakura trades one of them. Here we go. Final section of this chart where the difficulty really goes up. One of these players trading misses, but again, trades favor the person in the lead, which means that Exilfaker is starting to stretch, starting to pull ahead. But what a match we've had. Like, we've only witnessed, like, only 3 charts. But this has been a pretty exciting one to look at. But Exilfaker starting to take this one home now. Nene Sakura, in the end, will have to say goodbye to this tournament at the end of this chart. Exilfaker, on the other hand, what a phenomenal performance here. Doing enough of what is asked. Gaining the 6th point on a tiebreaker. Congratulations to Exilfaker for advancing to the second set of matches this weekend. Not yet guaranteed the spot in the semifinals. But what a way to guarantee yourself one more match. Again, Nene Sakura unfortunately will have to say goodbye to the tournament. But again, they've gone this far, and that is quite an achievement already. Congratulations to Exilfaker for advancing to the next set of matches, and as far as I know, they will be facing Howard tomorrow at 12 UTC, which is another interesting match, I would think. We have 2 of the conditional matches already determined. We have Unitori playing Playboy Cardi tomorrow at 8 UTC. And Howard playing Exilfaker tomorrow at 12 UTC. Anyways, our next match will be at 18 UTC. We will be back in around 4 hours from now, and that match is going to be Jungle versus Survey, both ERA members. Going to be one interesting match, I would think. But for now, we'll be taking a break. Hope to see you guys on the next match. Thank you so much.